This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. Look, we know Fox News and what they're up to. We've known for a long time. We know what their stated objective is, which is to buttress the talking points of the Republican Party, to act as the propaganda outlet for the Republican Party. Now, because Fox News has shown such success, there have been others crop up. Newsmax, OAN, other online media outlets. But Fox News is the granddaddy. Fox News is the one with the actual reach and the actual audience. And they are working overtime in light of the work of the January 6th committee, which is investigating the insurrection, the failed coup attempt. The failed attempt to overturn a free and fair election by installing Donald Trump extra-constitutionally to the White House. And the investigation is being delegitimized or attempted to be delegitimized by Fox News. Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger are the only Republicans on the committee. I thank them for their service. I think they hold pernicious political views, dehumanizing political views, but in this one instance, they're doing the right thing. And Liz Cheney took to Fox News to talk to Bret Baier, a frequenter of Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago at parties. He's one of the straight newsmen at Fox News. And you can see him. I'm going to play this clip where they're talking about, well, what about this? He's asking her. Are you going to push back against these narratives? What about Donald Trump saying that he called the National Guard out? All of these lies, all of this propaganda, all of these untruths, he is legitimizing by putting them out there as legitimate questions, as a real thing to ask. When, if he's actually a journalist, he's watched the committee and the work of people who have spent tireless hours asking questions of people who are under oath, under penalty of perjury, are giving their testimony. And he's asking questions that have been debunked time and time and time and time again in service to the Republican Party. Watch this, a few moments, it's like a 2-minute clip from Fox News with Liz Cheney batting down the propaganda of Fox News.
All right, and what will the committee's report have to say about why the assets like National Guard weren't prepped and ready? Is there a testimony already gathered on Speaker Pelosi's decisions or the Sergeant of Arms in the House and Senate on that regard?
Yeah, we have an entire team. We've got 5 different teams in the investigation. One of them is totally focused on all of those issues of security at the Capitol and the response of the Capitol Police, the response of the National Guard, the response of the Capitol Police Board, what was going on at the Pentagon that day. So it's an entire focus of the investigation. You will see in our report, you will likely see in upcoming hearings. And so it's certainly something that we're going to be very focused on. But what we aren't going to do, Brett, is blame the Capitol Police, blame those in law enforcement for Donald Trump's armed mob that he sent to the Capitol.
Okay.
I think clearly there were intelligence failures. Clearly the security should have operated better than it did. But this was a mob Donald Trump sent to the Capitol, and I think that's important to keep our eye on.
There are several witnesses who say they met with President Trump on January 4th, and he offered some 20,000 National Guardsmen to protect the Capitol building on January 6th, but the offer was rejected. Is that true? Do you know that to be true?
Well, his own acting Secretary of Defense says that's not true. Chris Miller has testified publicly that Donald Trump never issued any order to deploy the Guard to protect the Capitol. And so I would point people to his own Secretary of Defense's public testimony. And we also know that on January 6th, while the attack was underway, Donald Trump did not place a single phone call to anyone at the Pentagon. He didn't place a single phone call to anyone at the Justice Department to say deploy law enforcement. Mm-hmm. He didn't place a single phone call to anybody at the Department of Homeland Security. And so the notion that somehow he issued an order is not consistent with the facts.
I don't know why she didn't go as far as to say it's a lie. Maybe it's because she knows her audience and she needs to kid glove it a little bit. I don't know. But that is Bret Baier, excuse me. That is Bret Baier carrying water for the Republican Party. That is Bret Baier carrying water for Donald Trump himself, asking questions that Donald Trump is claiming are true, when it is clear to everyone, even through under oath testimony of the final Secretary of Defense of a long line of people who couldn't work for Donald Trump anymore. Chris Miller, who said, nope, no order was placed by the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the United States of America to deploy the National Guard and defend our democracy, to defend the United States Capitol building. Didn't happen. And we got Bret Baier over here. What about this? What about Nancy Pelosi? What did she do? Are you going to ask what she did? I mean, you may as well have Jim Jordan asking the questions or Donald Trump himself. Propaganda outlet. Disgusting. And this isn't one of the entertainment hosts like Tucker Carlson, Laura Ingraham, Sean Hannity. This is the news side. Trying to rush her through her answer, shut her up as she's spilling fact after fact after fact, indicting Donald Trump. His over 3 hours of inaction, doing nothing, watching TV in the dining room. The last thing he said before he went up to the residence that night wasn't, oh, thank God, everyone's safe. It was Mike Pence let me down. Meaning, Mike Pence didn't act in concert with my other insurrectionist pals to try to overturn the election and reinstall me as president of the United States. What do you think about this? I'd love to know. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. You can absolutely email me, daily@dollemore.com. I would love to hear from you. We can mix it up in the comments. Follow me on social media. I am on Twitter @Dollemore, Instagram @Dollemore, and TikTok, which will be a good time, @Dollemore. And if you appreciate what I do and want to help support my work, produce my work, click the join button below this video, become a channel member for as little as $1.99 a month, pennies a day. Or you can go over to patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast. Both those are fantastic ways. I know it's patreon.com/IDoubtIt but it's absolutely not just for the podcast. It for sure supports this side. On the other side of this wall that you can't see out of frame is a little podcast studio, and it's one giant pot. So if you support there on Patreon, it absolutely supports the videos that I produce here, and I would appreciate it. I love you guys. I appreciate you very much. I will see you next time. Until I do, be genuine. Take care of one another.